FM, the radio show where we like to highlight some of our favorite or otherwise incredible video game tracks from across the medium. I am your host, DLC, and tonight we got a great show for you. Let's kick it off with a track from a legendary composer over in the UK. Some of you probably have already figured it out, but if you haven't, just wait till the track is over for the info. That was the Pictionary main theme from, of course, Pictionary for the NES. And that was composed by Tim Follin, a legendary composer from the UK who got his start with his brother Mike in the 80s while producing music for Insight Studios. From then on, he would move to several different companies, including Software Creations and Malibu Interactive. Over the years, he has created music for Echo the Dolphin, Silver Surfer, Rock and Roll Racing, and Super Off-Road, along with many others. In 2005, he announced his retirement from game composing, income issues, unreliable work, and also citing the stress and tenuous nature of game development. Next up, we have a really fun track from the Mega Man series. This entry is always seen as one of the lesser titles, particularly when it comes to the voice acting, but it's one of my favorites. Here's Astro Man Stage from Mega Man 8. hope you enjoyed that one. Very fun song in my opinion. That one was composed by Shusaku Uchiyama, who has worked for Capcom, mostly creating music for the Resident Evil and Mega Man series. Recently, he has created music for Resident Evil Village and its expansion. He's also worked on the Devil May Cry series. Not many credits to his name, but his pedigree is unmistakable. It's time for the block this week. We got a handful of tracks that I hope will make you feel good. Let's get into it, and we'll be back soon. history of video games is very weird. For a long stretch of time, no one knew what we were doing, so names for contributors have never been kept track of, and some song names are just non-existent. I try tirelessly to find the track names and composers, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Well, regardless, let's round them up and list these tracks, yeah? We have Colosso from Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance, Stage 3 from Mad Stalker Full Metal Force for the PS1, a track from Kuro no Ken for the PS1. I apologize, I could not find the name of the said track. Same with this track from Ane-san for the PC Engine. And finally, we have Lucid Rhythm from Ridge Racer Type 4 for the PS1. Lucid Rhythms from Ridge Racer Type 4 was composed by Tetsukazu Nakanishi, who helped compose Ridge Racer Type 4, along with several other composers, Kota Takahashi, Hiroshi Okubo, Asuka Sakai, and Koji Nakagawa. For many who grew up in the PS1 era, Ridge Racer arguably was the main series that carried the jungle genre of music for as long as it did. Nakanishi on this track created something that really captures how it feels to cruise down a highway at either full speed or simply for a short drive. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is it for this week, folks, the last track for the day. This track is astonishing. In fact, I think this whole soundtrack is. However, I can only play you one song, so I made it this one. Here is Featherhall from Ghost in the Shell on PS1. Once again, that was Featherhall from Ghost in the Shell for the PlayStation 1. The soundtrack was produced by Takuya Ishino, and some other tracks were provided by different artists. Featherhall specifically was created by Maximilian Lenz, otherwise known as Westbam. This DJ created this high-tempo trance track for a game that is not terrible, but for fans of the series is definitely not what we are looking for. I'm a Tachikoma fan myself, but we want to play as the Major. I myself didn't expect a soundtrack to have such a high techno trance vibe to it, but it makes sense seeing as though Ghost in the Shell is a cyberpunk tale. We'd like to support these composers and games as much as we can. The names are highlighted throughout the show to let you know not only who composed these tracks, but where you may be able to find and support them. Spotify is an option along with places like Bandcamp, YouTube, and SoundCloud if applicable. I thank you once again for listening to today's show, so make sure to follow our SoundCloud and YouTube channel at Gaming Discourse FM. Like and subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when we post a new episode. Follow the Patreon for our sister channels if you would like to hear video game news and watch video content. You can do that by following the Gaming Discourse on YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon. Thank you very much, and keep gaming.